Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really deeply moving and honestly incredibly practical blueprint for completely changing your life. We all have those moments where we just feel utterly stuck, right? Where no matter how hard we try, it feels like we're just spinning our wheels, completely exhausted, wondering, is this really all there is? If you've ever felt that way, believe me, you're not alone. The story we're looking at today hits right at the emotional core of that exact feeling, but more importantly, it gives us a very specific, totally undeniable way out. So let's get right into it with Thomas. Thomas is a 32-year-old guy who was constantly haunted by this one terrifying thought. Will this be my life forever? He was working as a night security guard at this massive warehouse and living in a tiny one-room apartment. We're talking sleeping on a mattress on the floor, a broken fan, a flickering light bulb, the whole shebang. And the thing is, he wasn't lazy. The guy literally walked 4 miles just to get to work and stayed sharply alert all night. But hard work alone just wasn't moving the needle. He felt completely trapped in this endless loop of poverty and exhaustion, going absolutely nowhere. And when you look at his daily schedule, it makes total sense why he felt so stuck. Thomas would head off to work at 8 p.m. and wouldn't start his walk back home until 6 a.m. Imagine this, as he's dragging himself home totally dead on his feet. He's looking through the windows of his town and seeing families eating breakfast, kids getting ready for school, people heading out to their day jobs. He was literally going to sleep right as the rest of the world was waking up to chase their goals. It was pure agony for him. He felt like his whole life was backwards, literally sleeping through the exact hours where the world moves forward. But, every major transformation usually starts with a breaking point. For Thomas, that catalyst was a fateful phone call on a freezing November morning. His sister called in a panic to say their mom had collapsed from severe stress and exhaustion. Thomas immediately jumped on a 5 a.m. bus to rush to his village clinic. And when he gets there, his mother, who's just incredibly weak, actually begs him not to waste his life the way she felt she had wasted hers. Standing out there in the dark before dawn, just totally overwhelmed with anger at his own helplessness, Thomas made a desperate ironclad promise to himself. He was going to find a better way. On the 6 a.m. bus ride back, things take a wild turn. He ends up sitting near this very successful, wealthy local businessman named Mr. Chun, who is just calmly sitting there reading a book. Thomas is baffled and asks why a guy like him is up so early riding a bus, and Mr. Chun casually mentions his 4:30 a.m. routine. After hearing about Thomas's brutal schedule, Mr. Chun hits the nail on the head. He diagnoses the problem immediately. Thomas is awake when the world sleeps and asleep when the world works. And he tells Thomas that the ultimate secret to turning everything around is hidden right there in those magic hours just before dawn. Part 1. The 2-Hour Foundation. So the very next day at a local cafe, Mr. Chun lays out this concrete blueprint for Thomas, explaining that the quiet hours before dawn are your foundation building time, and it all hinges on this absolutely mind-blowing math: 730. Mr. Chun breaks it down like this. If you dedicate just 2 hours every single morning, that's 14 hours a week, that is 60 hours a month, which adds up to 730 extra hours a year. That is literally the equivalent of 90 full 8-hour workdays. Just by waking up a little bit earlier, you are giving yourself 3 entire extra working months every single year. That's a quarter of a year of focused, uninterrupted time that everyone else is just sleeping through. Now, you can't just wake up and start scrolling on your phone. That defeats the whole purpose. Mr. Chun gave Thomas a very strict routine for those 120 minutes. Hour 1, from 5 to 6 a.m., is 100% dedicated to building skills. You spend this time learning something that will directly change your financial reality, like teaching yourself Excel using free YouTube tutorials. Then, hour 2, from 6 to 7 a.m., is all about building your body and your mind. We're talking 30 minutes of exercise like a brisk walk or a run, because your body is the vehicle that carries you. And the rest of that hour, you use it for reading or planning out your day. But here is the catch, and Mr. Chun made this super clear with 3 absolutely non-negotiable rules. Number 1, you wake up at 5 a.m. daily. Yes, that includes weekends, no excuses, no debate. Number 2, you have to be asleep by 9 p.m. You literally cannot cheat sleep and expect to pull this off. Your body needs the rest. You just have to take control of when it gets it. And number 3, you have to accept that week 1 is going to be pure hell. Your body's going to hate you. Your brain will invent 1,000 reasons to quit. But if you can just push through for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And if you make it 90 days, it fundamentally changes who you are. Part 2, the 90-day transformation. So Thomas actually takes the leap. And let me tell you, it was not some magical, easy transition. Just like Mr. Chun warned, day one was pure pain and exhaustion. Thomas is dragging himself out of bed in the pitch black, his whole body aching. He's sitting at this tiny table in the dark, eyes burning, watching Excel tutorials on his phone while his brain is screaming at him to go back to sleep. But he pushed through, and right around day 20, something incredible clicked. He naturally woke up 2 minutes before his alarm. His body had adapted. The Excel formulas finally started making sense. By month 2, he'd finished 3 entire online courses and even lost weight from his daily walks. His confidence was through the roof. Then came the ultimate turning point. He built a custom inventory spreadsheet for his warehouse that completely blew his boss away. And on day 87, Thomas gets called into the office and is handed a massive promotion to the daytime accounting department.
Talk about a payoff. The reward for all that grueling discipline was absolutely monumental. He went from a tough night shift to a comfortable day shift office job, making double his previous salary. Fast forward just 1 year, and Thomas is the lead accountant for the whole company. He moved out of that depressing little room with the broken fan and into a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. But the absolute best part? He was finally able to move his mom to town and afford the proper medical care she desperately needed. He actually kept that promise he made in the dark.
Now, you'd probably think that after achieving all of this, Thomas would finally take a breather and sleep in, right? But a whole year later, he is still waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. When his coworkers asked him, "Why are you still doing this? You made it," he dropped this profound realization on them. Success is not a destination. It is a daily practice. He wasn't waking up early because he had to anymore. He woke up because those 2 quiet hours had become the sacred foundation of exactly who he was as a person. Parts 3. The 5 a.m. challenge. All right, we've seen exactly what this framework did for Thomas. He started with no money, no degree, and 0 connections. Now, if you're watching this explainer right now, you likely have access to the internet, to endless education, and to massive opportunities. The difference between where you are right now and where you want to be isn't just about natural talent or getting lucky. It's about how you use the time when the rest of the world is sleeping, when your willpower is fully recharged and there are 0 distractions. So, I'm issuing you the exact same 90-day challenge that Mr. Chun gave Thomas. Step 1, tonight, set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m. Not 5:15, not 5:30, and put it all the way across the room so you have to physically get out of bed to turn it off. Step 2, decide right now what you are going to build in that first hour. Pick one specific skill, a course, or a business idea, and commit to it for 90 days. Step 3, ruthlessly protect your 9 p.m. bedtime. Turn off the streaming, stop the doom scrolling. Wasted evenings are the ultimate enemy of a transformed life. I really want to leave you with this one lingering thought. If you actually wake up and use those 2 quiet hours with real purpose, you are going to become a stronger, more disciplined, and vastly more capable version of yourself. The only thing standing in your way right now is a choice. Are you going to use this blueprint, or are you going to hit snooze tomorrow morning and wonder 5 years from now why absolutely nothing in your life has changed? So I have to ask you, what will you build tomorrow at 5 a.m.? Your future self is waiting on the other side of that alarm clock. Don't make them wait any longer.